Today we're going to review an album that I have been listening to non-stop for pretty much a month, and that is Wolf Alice Blue Weekend. I'm not going to pretend like I know a whole lot about this album or about this band, because I don't. This is already their third studio release, and I can't say that I've never heard of them because I recognize their previous albums, but apparently I never listened to them or didn't give them a chance, or maybe the song that I listened off of the album wasn't something that I enjoyed. But with this album, Blue Weekend, that just dropped in June, and today's the first day of July when I'm recording this video, I've really grown to enjoy this entire album, and I want to review it song by song. So let's put Duran Duran on the back burner and talk about Wolf Alice. Now, when I did look it up, this album did really well in Scotland, went to number one in the UK, and number 3 in Ireland. And I saw what it did in America, United States of America, but I don't remember. It seems like it was in the 20-something on the chart, so not as popular here, but definitely not too shabby. So I listened to each track one by one and made some notes here. I wrote them all down so I wouldn't forget. And, some of it's just simple, just some things that I was thinking about whenever I listened to the album, and I want to share those with you. Now, like I said, the album was just released 2021. This is probably my favorite album of the year so far. But Duran Duran has not released Future Past yet, so we'll see. I got a feeling Duran Duran's probably going to be that album, but so far, mid-year, it's Wolf Alice, Blue Weekend. Now, the first song is called The Beach. I love this opening song. The song in its entirety is like a 2.5-minute build all the way up into the second track. And I love the way it ends and how the second track, which is called Delicious Things, starts. I like these kind of transitions. There is a silence between the two tracks, but just the way it sounds, when you listen to it, I notice that it worked. It was a very good sound, and I like it sort of thing. But this is definitely dream. I call it like a dream alt rock at its finest. This is really good stuff. Then we go into track number 2, which is called Delicious Things. Now, Delicious Things, what catches my attention about this is the band is actually playing their own instruments. This is real musicians. And also this band wrote all these songs. It wasn't written by a team of writers. This is one sort of thing that I look at whenever I'm listening to music, because I have an elevated level of respect for bands who play their own instruments and write their own songs. And they do both. This makes me think of like a dream funk with a great sounding feel-good hook, a great chorus. And that's where I figured out that they're English due to how they pronounce Los Angeles. She says Los Angeles, and we don't say that here. But I love the bass in this song. It's got a very good sound. After track 1 and 2, which are important to me to set the tone for the rest of the album, I think we're definitely off to a good start. I think by now what I'm hearing is they're going to be very artistic. It's going to be good music, good musicianship, very good vocals. And I think there's going to be a variety, at least a small variety, at least, of different types of sounds that's going to be on this record. That's why I think it's important to have a really good first and second song that tell, they should be like a summary of the rest of the album. This is what you need to expect. Then this is track number 3, Delicious Things, spills over into Lipstick on the Glass in one continual song. So it's like a medley form, but it's just as simple as just one note or just one, very small amount of music just kind of comes out of the first track and into the next track. I think this is underutilized in music. I think it's very important. I think it put so much more creativity to an album, and I think it gets people's attention. And I think if a person likes a song like Delicious Things, I think it helps them like the next song because it helps you transition. It's not like a dead stop and then start again, because you just kind of reset your mind. And I think you run a chance of losing people's interest. I think like this, you don't. A lot of the best albums ever made, the Beatles' Lonely Hearts Club Band, is like that. There's a lot of very nice transitions where it just goes from one song to the other without a break, and it's so beautiful. I just love this stuff. I'm a sucker for medley type songs. So I just think it's very important when bands do this, and it's so easy to do. So easy to do. And I very often hear situations where they could have just done this on any song or any album. And I'm like, wow, they just really missed that opportunity. Lipstick on the Glass. Let's get back to that. I love this kind of production. It's so easy to do. As I said, Ellie Rowsell's voice is very good. And I even like it because I typically don't when people go, but she drags her voice in between two phrases, and I actually think it's perfect. So I really like that. So Lipstick on the Glass, very good song. And it's got a very nice Radiohead-esque guitar. If you hear that, I think that's really good. There's several bands that I hear whenever I listen to Wolf Alice, like Radiohead. I hear David Bowie. I hear the Beatles. I heard them at one point. Hopefully I've noted it here so I can tell you whenever that comes up. But it's got an insane harmony and insane melodies. Just really good stuff. All right, the next song is track number 4. It's called Smile. I'll be honest, when I first heard Smile, I didn't like it. And I like the music and I like the production, but I didn't like the rap style of how we were going to do the song. And I'm not really into rap. Actually, I kind of hate rap. I used to love rap, and I just ended up not liking rap later on. But I really just dismissed it because of that. But I kept listening to the song, and it got into the chorus. And when I heard the chorus, I was floored. I loved this sound. This was one of the most beautiful sounds on the whole entire album, so it kept me listening to the song, even though I didn't really like some of it. But after listening to the album, well, let me back up. I heard Smile first because it was on a playlist. I listened to Apple Music. I subscribed to Apple Music, and it was on a playlist as new music, and I just heard that song. So I heard it in a vacuum, not in the context of listening to it on the album. And I didn't, like I said, I wasn't really that big of a fan. I'm like, this is the kind of band that I'm hearing, they're going to do a lot of rap, and I just don't care. And, that chorus is fabulous. So let's keep listening. But now I hear Smile on this record, and I think it is perfect in the context of listening to the album in full because it creates diversity. We already know from tracks 1 through 3 that Ellie is a wonderful singer. We all also know that this band are full of great musicians, great ability to write a song, everything is great. So then you get to Smile, and you're like, yeah, this is perfect. So it ends up being well taken, and I think it is a nice change of pace, and it shows a lot of diversity, musical diversity, which could be very important because people like that to keep their interest on an album. So good stuff. Okay, now we have track number 5. It's called Safe from Heartbreak, and once again, I'm floored with Ellie's voice, and the guitar is very nice as well. There's harmony throughout, and I think it's all double tracked, several different parts for harmony. I think that sounds good. It just gives the vocal a lot of fullness, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And you have the acapella at the end. That's really a nice breath of fresh air. You don't really see that much these days. It's kind of something you used to hear back in the day, and I think they pulled that off wonderfully. Okay, track number 6, How Can I Make It Okay? I've watched some of the videos for Wolf Alice, and I think there's a video for every song which tells an entire story, and I need to watch that. I saw this video, and every time I hear the song now, I envision the older gentleman. I guess he's performing like karaoke in front of a crowd, and there's one gentleman in the crowd who's paying close attention, and by the end, he's just very closely touched by this performance, or maybe the words. Maybe he's moved by the words, but it's I'm not gonna say it ruined it for me, but I'm just saying that that's what I see. So I pay more attention in my head to the video than I do listen to the music, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. All the female voices, I notice there's a lot, and I talk about double tracking and laying down separate tracks, all for harmony's sake. And I'm pretty sure they're just all the lead singers. Ellie Rowsell, I think her name is. So that's pretty cool that she does all the female voices. And this is one of the rare occasions where I actually like the singing in the verse better than I like the singing in the chorus, which it's not really a big deal, just something I noticed. Nice drawn out words, putting Ellie's voice on full display. So I think this is just a really good song to really notice how good she sings. There's a nice build up to the song. And I also wrote other bands today need to take notice on how making music is done. Apparently, by the time I got to song number 6, I was very floored and surprised and excited about the type of musicianship that I hear on this album. So I think it's good stuff. All right, if you're new to the channel, I'll just say it right now. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate you doing that. Or if you haven't subscribed and you've been watching the channel, you can do it as well. That would be fantastic. That's a very good way to support me and the channel. So if you can stop and do that, I would appreciate it. But I mention that because if you are new to the channel, you may not know that I'm a very melodic guy. I really like the melodic stuff better than others. And track number 7, Play the Greatest Hits, doesn't have much melody at all, so I tend to not really like it. This is the song that I'm going to skip. It's got a very punky sound, which I'm okay with. There's some punk that I listen to, but probably based on the fact that I just play guitar to it. But I'm just not the biggest fan of this. I kind of wish it wasn't on the album, but at the same time, being that, talking about musical diversity, I think, why not? Why not have something like this? I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people out there that think this is really good music. So I'm okay with it. I'm just not going to listen to it. I'm going to skip over it. But I'm good with it. Track number 8, Feeling Myself, another Radiohead sounding song. That's another reference. I've already referenced them once. The harmony in the verse is so great. And I just really love the sound, and the contrast between the verse and the chorus is so bold, but so well taken. And the music in the chorus makes me think of The Cure. That's another band that I heard was The Cure. The singing is so pretty and it's so sweet. Unlike The Cure. I love The Cure. The thing about Robert Smith from The Cure is, he's got a hard voice to listen to, and I think it takes a long time to get to know it. But when you listen to it, no matter how strained it may sound, it really isn't, and it's very melodic. And if you really think about it, you can hear it. He's actually, melody is his thing. So anyway, I'll get back to Wolf Alice. Sorry about talking about The Cure. I love The Cure. Where was I? Feeling Myself? No, I was talking about the song Feeling Myself. Sorry. So the singing, again, is so pretty and so sweet. And it has a lot more of those layered vocals for harmony, which I think is kind of a signature sound for Wolf Alice. And I'm glad that they're doing that. Song number 9. Song number 9 is called The Last Man on Earth. I think this has got like a very nursery rhyme vocal on top of just a piano, and it starts out very quiet, even whispering, but it builds into this full-fledged song by mid-song. In the last third of the album, where the bridge is, it sounds like the Beatles. So The Last Man on Earth, listen to like the bridge, like the intro to the bridge. It's very, very, very Beatles. So if you heard like which Beatles song this sounds like, comment down below and tell me if do you hear The Cure? Do you hear Radiohead? Do you hear the Beatles? Comment down below and let me know. Or even David Bowie. I saw that there was a reference to David Bowie, but I've not heard any actual references. I've not heard David Bowie, but I don't know his catalog as much as I do The Cure and the Beatles and Radiohead, so maybe I'm just missing that. But comment down below if you did. But I really love this song, The Last Man on Earth. All right, now we're almost done. To song number 10, if I can scroll down. Song number 10 is called No Hard Feelings. Oh, here's another reference to a band. I don't know if anybody's going to get this. Maybe it's just me. That guitar sound, that acoustic guitar sound, it sounds like Foo Fighters. Like acoustic Foo Fighters to me. I don't know if a lot of people are listening to Wolf Alice and Foo Fighters that's going to be watching this. I'm not sure. Let me know. Very melodic singing by Ellie Rowsell. And this is the simplest song on the entire album, which I think there's a lot to be said for being able to put out a very simple song that's still very well taken. Prince does that. He can put out some of the simplest music with just a couple of instruments and in their simplest form, and it sound like a masterpiece. So good stuff. And then we're on the last track, which is called The Beach 2, not to be mistaken by the first track, which is just called The Beach. The last song using the same name as the first song, but number 2, more Cure sounding guitar that transformed into, here's another reference, Bloody Valentine guitar sound. And the Cure sounding guitar solo, very nice song to end the entire album with. I think they did a really good job. It's a good album, a good beginning, a lot of diversity. There's had a very good ending. It has a lot of in between songs, the way it goes from one, the sequencing, all that. This is a good album. It's a well done album, and it's very good musicianship, very good vocals. This album needs to be listened to. If you haven't heard Blue Weekend by Wolf Alice, stop and listen to it. Now my notes here, like my final notes, I'm probably going to be redundant here. This is a great album, and so far my favorite of 2021. And again, like I said, I like this band because they write all their music and they play all their own instruments, which is a lot to be said for musicians today. Fantastic vocals. They're very good musicians with a lot of experimentation. It's very dreamy. It's very melodic. Very wide range of vocals by Ellie Rowsell. And there's several styles of music being played, so there's some diversity, and these harmonies are killer. There's nothing bad about this album. Even the song I don't like, I fully accept it. Play the Greatest Hits, I fully accept it because I just think it fits on the album. And sometimes that happens, It may not be a strong song, but it works on the album. So that's it. That is Wolf Alice. That is Blue Weekend. That is my review. That is what I think. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you've heard the album, if you haven't heard the album, are you going to listen to the album? What did you think about the album? What's your favorite song on the album? Do you have a least favorite song on the album? And just, let's talk. Let's talk it out in the comments. But before I go, I want to talk really quick. I talk about Holly Carter every time because she's my sponsor. She is nice enough to sponsor this channel. She is a vacation consultant with the Magic for Less Travel, and she will give you the personalized service and expert guidance you need for the vacation you deserve. She's an expert with Disney World, Disneyland. She's an expert with Universal, and she's very good with booking cruises. So I have her information down below if you want to click on that and get a completely free quote. It's no cost, no obligation. You can just find out, hey, how much is this going to cost? How easy is it going to be to go on vacation? She's going to let you know, and she's the best of the best. So be sure to do that. Visit me on Instagram. I'm at Red Mug Music. You can check me out on Twitter at Red Mug Music. I am kind of new there. I haven't been exploring the Twitter sphere, so I'm going to be new there, so be gentle. And also check out the merchandise shop. Got some stuff in there if you're interested. And I think that's going to be it for me this week. So very happy you could join me today. It was a lot of fun, and I will see you guys next week.